All right, welcome back. Now our GMC tweet of the night. And tonight is the night to have Bucko fever, Pony, for sure. Look at this guy. Unbelievable today. A rookie coming up. Welcome to the show, Luis Ortiz. Made his major league debut. Goes 5 2/3. 5 strikeouts. No runs. 1 hit. Does it make you excited, Pony?
Well, Pittsburgh's dominating Cincinnati and everything, huh?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. The A-9 doubleheader. Hey, so let's switch subjects back to the Steelers, because that's what everyone wants to talk about. Is there any reason to be optimism? Because I don't think it's so much Mitch Trubisky as it is Matt Canada. I think we were right earlier this year when we said, it's Matt Canada, potentially.
Well, I don't think that Trubisky's the solution.
I don't either.
I don't think he was the problem in Cincinnati on Sunday. He made the plays at the end of the game. He outplayed Joe Burrow. I wouldn't have expected that. I've heard other hosts, talk show hosts, analysts, even fans get on Trubisky. I'm not going to do that for Sunday's game. I'm going to give him a stay of execution. I'm going to give him a pass. However, the offensive line, Tomlin can talk about how they didn't commit a lot of penalties and that they were better than they were in the preseason, but that's such a low bar to clear. There were still no holes in the running game. And they're going to play this game against New England. If Najee's out there, and he says he will be, he's not going to be 100%. He's got a high ankle injury, and he's got a Liz Frank. He's compromised. Jaylen Warren. I thought Jaylen Warren went into the game and looked good in pass blocking situations. But even with his burst, he wasn't able to hit holes and find yards. He did nothing. Their only good run plays were when Chase Claypool did end arounds and stuff. And I don't think they're going to make that. They're not going to convert him into a running back, Richie. So if you can't run the ball, you're one-dimensional, okay? And if they throw the ball 40 times a game with Mitch Trubisky, you're not going to win a lot of games. That's not a recipe for success. So they're probably going to stick to that short passing game, extension of the run game BS, and I just don't have a lot of faith in it. They do have some playmakers. Freiermuth, Pickens, Johnson, even Claypool made a few against Cincinnati. But I just don't trust the coordinator, the line, and then I would say third, the quarterback, to make that happen when the defense knows that the other team can't run the ball.
All right, how did you feel about Matt Canada's play calling at the end of the game, or was it Canada, Tomlin, whatever it was? Do you think they should have ran the ball when they had a chance, or are you on board with them? I don't mind them throwing the ball if you think you can win it at that point.
When are you talking about?
Their second to last possession, where it was like under 2 minutes to go, and they had the ball, and they ended up throwing, and it stopped the clock.
In the fourth quarter or
In the fourth
overtime?
quarter, at the end of the game in the fourth quarter.
Hated it. After Najee got hurt, and then they threw it on the next play, I hated that because there was an injury timeout, and then they stopped the clock again with an incomplete pass.
Yeah.
That's not playing the percentages. Your defense has been great all day. Trust them one more time. You're not going to throw it for a first down there. The percentage of it being incomplete or there being a sack or something with your team in your offense, far greater. So you were conservative all day. I don't get why you would get aggressive in that situation. So that was a blunder that they got away with. And thankfully for the Steelers and Mike Tomlin, the other coach committed more blunders in that game as far as clock management is concerned.
All right, let's go out to our number one Cochran. Go one better. Call the night. Let's go out to Mike and Carrick. How you doing, Mike?
Hi, Mike.
Hey, guys. How you doing? I just had a quick question. My question was with Mike Boswell. Do you think he was nervous when he was kicking the extra point?
You mean Chris Boswell?
Field goal. Yeah. Joe.
No, I don't think he was nervous. That guy is smooth. I mean, his personality, his persona is even keel. No matter when you talk to him, where you talk to him, at a football game, in a locker room, at a volleyball match, whatever, the guy is the same. And that's what you want out of your kicker.
Wait, is he talking about the Steelers kicker, or is he trying to talk about the Bengals kicker?
He said Boswell. So
yeah. He said Mike Boswell. Is that his dad?
I don't know. I just assumed that he got the name wrong, and I corrected him and said Chris Boswell. I don't think the other kicker was nervous. I mean, kickers don't get nervous, right, in the NFL? That's just not what they do. I mean, maybe like me and you would get nervous, but I don't think these kickers are getting nervous. Chris Boswell is one of the best. But I do want to say Deontay Johnson cost them a win, essentially, because if he didn't lose a yard there, Boswell would have hooked that ball around the post, around the upright there. It wouldn't have hit the upright. So let's go out to Fred, North Huntington. How you doing, Fred?
Hi, Fred.
Hi, guys. Thanks for taking my call. Hey, Andrew,
Sure.
I totally agree with you as far as, the offensive line not creating any holes. This has been going on for 2 or 3 years. But I also think the play calling's putting them at a disadvantage. It seems like the defense always knows when we're going to run the football. That's just my opinion on that. And the other thing I wanted to ask you about, I actually called last night, Andrew, and your buddy Chris Mahler, he jumped all over me because I made a comment about Mike Tomlin making a rap video in the locker room after the game with about 6 to 8 players. You have your defensive player of the year that's possibly out for the season. You think he'd be a little more concerned about knowing the injury report and how Najee Harris and Watt are doing? I realize you're celebrating a win here. I just don't think that's the most respectable thing to do as a coach at that time.
Well, it was in the moment. I mean, these guys were excited walking off the field. They won a game that maybe they shouldn't have won in overtime, and they should have won up until the end of the fourth quarter. So maybe he was caught up in the moment, walking by these guys. I mean, those guys were standing there right by the door, essentially. I was in that locker room after the game, so he didn't necessarily go out of his way to do that. I mean, that group was right there kind of by the entrance to that locker room.
A few things. I don't think Tomlin treated that game like any other game. I think he knew that it would mean a lot to his team to win in Cincinnati after they got embarrassed last year. It's a division game. It's the defending AFC champs. I think he fools everybody when he says every game means the same. It does not. I think his team, that's why they get up for games like the one on Sunday, and that's why sometimes they play down to the competition against teams they just assume they're going to beat. So we know he's an emotional coach. We know that the players rally around that, and I think he got caught up in that after the game. As far as the offensive line goes, look, you can't do play action effectively when the other team knows you stink at running the ball. So that eliminates a big part of what the Steelers probably want to do offensively. There's nothing to concern linebackers or safeties with if they're not afraid that the Steelers are going to do any damage running the ball. And the other thing I thought they made a big mistake with, Richie, on Sunday, no designed runs with Trubisky. Utilize the guy's legs. Add him as an extra runner. Wasn't that going to be part of their offense this year? That they finally, how many times did Tomlin talk about a mobile quarterback last year? They didn't really try to do any of that with Mitch Trubisky in the game, and I think they need to introduce that into the offense Sunday against New England.
And you would think Najee Harris would create some kind of scare for the defense.
But he doesn't look 100%,
no, he
even
doesn't.
before he got hurt.
No, he doesn't.
Game.
All right, let's go out to Rick. Well, we got to take a break. And then we're going to come back with Rick and Beaver. Back in a couple minutes.